Very fortunate to have been invited to London this evening, in capacity as Chair of Morecambe BID, by our local MP, Lizzi Collinge, as a representative of local business to meet with the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rachel Reeves, and No.11, with other MPs and their guests. So it will be a very interesting conversation, certainly with the current Chancellor. None of us can escape the rumour mills at the moment, so you'll be to see what the Chancellor has to say about whether that includes plans for the future or not. We shall see. I'll let you know how it goes. I've been back from London for a few days now and had a chance to reflect on the visit to No.11, able to meet and talk with, albeit reasonably briefly, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rachel Reeves, MP. A difficult event to judge really in terms of the potential for lobbying and impact, but it was really important to represent Morecambe BID, Morecambe businesses and the businesses across the district, really to pass that message on. The event itself was about summer savings, which some of you may or may not have heard of, where there's been a VAT reduction to 5% on things that qualify children's meals, but it also extends to things like theme park tickets. And so the thought process is that it will have obviously encourage families to come out and spend across the summer, which, you know, in principle is a good idea. I think the challenge for all of us at the moment with the general cost of living is to have that money to spare in the first place. It's important, obviously, to represent at the highest level. So when given the opportunity to go and speak with the Chancellor, it's something I couldn't pass up. So I was able to take direct feedback from our levy members. We've been able to gather, as you can imagine, a lot of feedback about the challenges businesses face currently in Morecambe and the district. I was able to take that down. So representatives from hospitality, particularly hotels, but also across all of our retailers as well, just about the challenges we're all facing with the rises in national insurance, in wages, also business rates, energy costs, and so the cumulative effect of that on business and our ability to, you know, survive in the first instance, but also to employ, to grow, to thrive as best we can, and the challenges that we all currently face to do that. Fair to say that the Chancellor listened to the points that I raised, and Lizzi also raised some points on constituents' behalf, and I was able to bring real-world examples of what we face, certainly in our district, but also as a seaside town, the seasonality, and some of the sort of unique challenges of a seaside town. But obviously the main concerns are costs at the moment. And one of the points that I was able to make, and I think it's an important one, certainly for those of us in food and drink, that when you get to a stage where the concern is money, that obviously detracts from the passion of producing food and drink. Anyone who eats out in a restaurant, drinks in a bar, stays in a hotel, the passion of staff and owners, but particularly in food, the difference in food and drink made by passionate people as opposed to passionate people, there is a difference. It's almost an intangible, but I know from my own experiences in restaurants of nearly 20 years that food made by people who care about it and are passionate about it will always taste better than food and drink that's made by people who are just worried about the cost of it. Because of course, that then becomes more about where you can make savings as opposed to how good it could be. I think you can say the same across all sectors, that when it gets to that stage, it's certainly going to have an impact. We all do the absolute best that we can to not let it impact our customers. Itself causes untold stress and difficulties, and you see that etched on the faces of business owners and levy members every day. I'm very proud that I was able to represent Morecambe BID and Morecambe at the highest level, and hope that, along with the other voices in the room, we can at least hope that the message has been delivered loud and clear.